unzipping. And of course, this is, or say, unwinding also. That is in elongation. Now, unwinding is also, say, pag-separate na-separate na siya. Pag-separate, 2 strands na. Exposed na ang nitrogenous bases. Because they are used as the template para maghimo og new DNA strand. So, dapat ma-expose. So, there should be melting of the DNA or the separation of the 2 strands to become single strands. Now, after separation class, there should be what? Stabilization of the single strands DNA. Dapat stabilize siya class or else mawala siya, no? Ma-melt siya, melted siya totally. So, maguba ang structure sa DNA. So, there should be stabilization of this single-stranded DNA. And stabilization will be done by topoisomerases or gyrases. Now, the role then of these topoisomerases or gyrases is this. So, gyrase provides a swivel that relieves torsional stress generated by unwinding. So, pag unwind unwinding is actually done by helicase. It's done by helicase. So, pag separate, and then nag-unwind. Unwind meaning na-stretch. Hinatong siya. Then, of course, separation. Now, this is done by helicase. DNA helicases. Okay? Now, how about this topoisomerases role or the gyrases or gyrase? Now, say for example, this is the chain of the nucleotides in the DNA. Now, the role of topoisomerase or gyrase is to cut this to relieve the torsional stress. Ngano, kung inaton ang DNA, grabe ng stress sa structure. Got it? So, na-stress ang DNA. So, dapat i-cut siya. Chop. Okay. That is by a gyrase. That is to relieve torsional stress. Okay. So, that's the role of the gyrase or gyrases. Okay. Now, after stabilizing the single-stranded DNA, then there is what we call as priming with RNA molecule. We say priming class. You know what? DNA polymerases, though they are responsible for the polymerization during the DNA replication, what is the weak area of this DNA polymerases 1, 2, and 3 is that they cannot start the replication process. They don't know how to start the replication process. So they have to look for the 3' OH. So dapat kinahanglan maghimo og small sequence of RNA. So you have now RNA molecule. Small RNA molecule. Now, we call that the RNA primer. Now, the RNA primer or the short sequence of RNA would be synthesized by the RNA primase. Now, you have the word and another enzyme called the primase. So, the duty of this primase is to synthesize a short sequence around around 15 nucleotides. Join in nucleotides for the RNA molecule. Mubo ra na siya. Mubo ra siya. Made up of around a maximum of 15 nucleotides. Okay? Sequences. That is just to initiate the replication process. Kaya nga no, okay, what is looked into by this DNA polymerases 1, 2, and 3 is the 3' OH. Once makita na niya na, immediately mo bind na na siya and replication starts. Okay? So that's the time na mo you maybe have the potentials like that of the DNA polymerases. You may be good leaders, but you don't know how to start the operation. You don't know how to start the ministry or a particular work. You need somebody to initiate. Okay? But as somebody is initiating a particular work, then you will be one. So that triggers the activation of the rest of the leaders like that of the DNA polymerases. So one weak point of these DNA polymerases is that they cannot start the replication process. There is a need of an RNA primer, which is synthesized by the primase, an enzyme called primase. Are you with me? Yes. Now, say if there is already an RNA primer, then of course DNA replication starts. So that we have already the template. So once the template is already exposed, so there is what we call unzipping. So unzipping is for the exposure of these nitrogenous bases. So pag yun, oy, naanay T. So DNA polymerase would say, okay, we need 8 for a new DNA to form. Okay, next. 8, okay. Sige, sunod, tahin. So on and so forth. Until the whole structure would be synthesized. Okay? Then, so that is in elongation. Then, later on, as to whatever is the length of the template DNA, so as the length of the new strand of DNA that would be synthesized. Okay? So as the result, there will be 2 DNA molecules which are exactly the same with each other that would be resulted. Okay, now class. Now these DNA polymerases 1, 2, and 3, after they have polymerized, or say for example, pag join nila ana, okay, na-expose na ang thymine. Now there is what we call as editing. You know what? The role of DNA polymerase is not only to polymerize or to make new sequences of DNA, but there is what we call as 2 ways of checking by these DNA polymerases. How do they check whether their work is accurate or not? Okay, first checking is, you have here, the first checking is, there is what we call as pre-synthetic control. So, we say pre, this is checking a base for base pairing complementarity before addition to the growing chain. So, before they add a base, there is what we call as pre-checking, or say pre-synthesis checking. So there is checking. Sure ka? Thymine dyan na siya? Oo, lagi. Thymine lagi. Okay. So, sige. Tagay o adenine. Pag-ungan, another checking is post-synthetic control. Meaning, this is checking base after it has been added to a growing chain. So, gibutangan na o, adenine. Pag-ungan ani, check na po ang DNA polymerase 1, 2, and 3. Sure yun ka nga sakto ning adenine na to? Sige, check sa. Okay, sure na. Thymine is paired now with adenine. So before a base is added, there is pre-checking, and after the base is added, there is what we call as post-checking. So that is how to maintain accuracy class. That just shows that the one who designs us is an accurate God. He likes accuracy. Because when there is and this, that is mutation. Remember, wala na non-coding sequences, or say, it's okay, napaday non-coding sequences here. But that, if that could be done, say if there are mutations here, possible nga that contributes to mutation. Basta they exons na ni area, mga coding sequences. So, okay lang kung introns na siya. Dayon na change na mutation. Pwede pa nga it does not affect to the whole individual. Halimbawa, pag suyop-suyop di mo, drugs ka. Unya nun, diri ang nag-mutate. Oy, fortunately, nag-fall into introns ang site. So, it cannot affect. Ang ano rin na, okay ra dahil nga mag-drugs ko. Okay ra dahil nga kaon ko bisag unsa. Anyway, we have this so-called plasticity. That's part of our plasticity. Meaning, na ay allowance for mistakes. You see? There is always allowance for mistake. But, of course, you have to see to it that a mistake falls on the non-coding sequences. Okay? So, pre and post checking, that is to maintain accuracy. Now, that's why we have this so-called proofreading. When we say proofreading, this is what? Editing. How to edit? So, nato'y pre and post checking. That is proofreading. Okay. Now, what is then the role of this DNA polymerases 1, 2, and 3 in the proofreading? Of course, both or say all, the 3 molecules will do the polymerization. However, ang proofread aning 3', 5' will be done. So we have now the 3' to 5' exonuclease or proofreading will be done by both DNA polymerases 1, 2, and 3. Ang review aning 3' to 5', sure you got? Sure na. Ang DNA polymerases 1, 2, and 3. But, ang DNA polymerase 1 is the only